I thought he was practicing a proposal for me, until I found out he was planning to propose to someone else while we were still together. Jake and I had been together for a little over 5 years. We lived together, shared bills, had routines, inside jokes, a couple pieces of furniture we picked out together. We talked about the future in that vague, someday kind of way. Kids, if it feels right, marriage down the line, travel once things calm down. But lately, things had felt different. Jake was acting weird, nervous, distant. He'd started working out more, dressing better, locking his phone. I know how that sounds, classic cheating signs. But I didn't jump there right away. I thought maybe, just maybe, he was planning to propose. Stupid, right? It lined up in my head. The secrecy, the mood swings, even the way he'd ask random questions like, "What do you think of destination weddings?" Or, "If you had to pick a ring cut, what would it be?" I convinced myself he was planning something big. And, in a way, he was just not for me. It happened last Thursday. I came home early from work. Headache, zero motivation. Figure I'd beat traffic and finish stuff from my laptop. I didn't text Jake I was coming back. Just walked in like normal. The apartment was quiet. No TV. No music. Lights were on, so I knew he was home. As I got closer to the bedroom, I heard his voice. He was talking, kind of low, kind of nervous sounding. I thought he was on a call, maybe a client or something. Then I heard what he was actually saying. "You make me want to be a better man." I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I stopped. He was saying it like a speech, like he was rehearsing. And my heart did this thing, this dumb, hopeful flutter, because I thought, oh my God, he's practicing a proposal. For me, it all made sense now. The secrecy, the stress, the way he'd been kind of twitchy around me lately. He was nervous. He was planning something big. I almost laughed. Like, wow, I can't believe I doubted him. So I walked toward the bedroom door, slow, already imagining what the ring would look like, what he'd say, whether I'd cry. And then I heard it. The name. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Lila." Lila, not me. I didn't even push the door open. I didn't need to. It was cracked just enough to see him kneeling, literally kneeling in front of his phone, which was propped up on a stack of books. Open ring box in one hand. Big smile on his face. And someone on the screen. I couldn't see her clearly, but I heard her voice. She laughed. Soft. Familiar with him. Comfortable. He was proposing. On FaceTime. To someone else. I backed away from the door. Quietly. I didn't say anything. Didn't make a scene. I walked to the kitchen. Sat down at the table. And stared at the fridge for maybe 10 minutes. My whole body felt numb. Not angry. Not sad. Just blank. Like I was watching my own life glitch out. Eventually, I heard the door open. Jake walked out, humming like nothing had happened. Then he saw me. We locked eyes. His face dropped like a rock. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't even ask if I heard him wrong. I just asked, "Who's Lila?" He didn't answer. I nodded, stood up and said, "I'm going to pack a bag." And I did. I grabbed enough for a few days, texted my sister, and left. He didn't follow me. Didn't stop me. Didn't say a single word. I didn't sleep well that night. Packing my bag felt like a weird kind of relief and a punch to the gut all at once. I told my sister I was crashing at her place for a bit. Didn't go into details because, honestly, I wasn't even sure what to say. Jake didn't call or text that night. Nothing. By the time I got to my sister's apartment, I was a mess. But I didn't want to seem that way. I put on a brave face, poured some wine, and tried to act like I was fine. But I wasn't. The next day, I finally broke down and messaged Jake. I needed answers. Not a defense or a lie, just the truth. He replied almost immediately. So I agreed. We met at a quiet coffee shop a few blocks from my sister's place. He looked tired. Eyes red like he'd been crying or not sleeping. No more smug smiles, no rehearsed lines. He told me everything. Lila was someone from work, a client he'd been assigned to for a sensitive case. At first, it was strictly professional. Then, over months, they started talking outside work hours. Late nights, texts that turned flirty, then secret lunches. He swore it never got physical, but the proposal rehearsals? He claimed it was an experiment. Oh, what a scenario. Something he did because he felt stuck in our relationship and wanted to see how far he could go without breaking things. I asked, the distance, the secrets, the lies. What about me? I asked. He looked down. I don't know, he said. I messed up. I'm sorry. I wanted to scream, to cry, to punch the table. But instead, I stood up. I need time, I said. He nodded. For the next few days, I tried to focus on me. Work, friends, family. At their heartbreaking and racing at the same time. I didn't want to believe it, but it all added up. But Jake kept texting, calling, showing up. I told him to stop. I wasn't ready. Then Lila messaged me. I wasn't prepared for it. The message came through my phone like a bomb. Hey, I'm Lila. I think we need to talk. I stared at the screen for a full minute, trying to decide if this was some kind of sick joke. Then I texted back, who is this really? Her reply was immediate. Lila, Jake's girlfriend. The word hit me like a slap. Girlfriend, not client, not someone I made a mistake with. Girlfriend. I showed the message to my sister. She was pissed. You deserve better. Opie, dump him. I wasn't sure if I could. I wanted answers. So I replied to Lila, what do you want? Her response was honest in a way I didn't expect. She said she never wanted to hurt me, and she thought he was single. I laughed bitterly. Of course. He'd lied to both of us. We agreed to meet, because if Jake wanted to keep playing this game, I was done watching from the sidelines. That meeting was brutal. Lila was nothing like I imagined. Not a villain, just a woman caught in a mess she didn't create. We talked for hours, comparing stories, sharing texts Jake sent each of us. He'd been juggling us both, making promises, telling half-truths. After that night, I realized something important. I wasn't the only victim here, but I was the one who needed to get out. Update. I finally confronted Jake the next weekend. We met at a park near his apartment, somewhere neutral. The kind of place where you want to yell but people are around. So you don't. He looked different. Tired. Like he was carrying a weight too heavy even for him. I don't know if it was guilt or just exhaustion. I'm sorry, he said right off the bat. I never meant for any of this to happen. I fell in love with both of you. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. His words felt like nails scratching a chalkboard. Fell in love with both of us? I repeated, voice steady but ice cold. That's your excuse? He swallowed hard. I'm not trying to hurt you. I swear. It's complicated. Yeah. Well, your complicated nearly destroyed me. I took a breath and looked him in the eye. Remember the money I lent you last year? The 10 grand for your business. He blinked like I'd slapped him. I want it back. Now. He shook his head slowly. You don't understand. The business isn't doing well. You know that. If I have to give you that money back, I'll be broke again. I nodded. I did know, and that's why I asked. You always knew you couldn't pay me back. You borrowed it anyway. His mouth opened, closed, opened again. I didn't have a choice. I didn't flinch. I gave you that money because I believed in you, because I wanted us to build something together. But you lied, you cheated, and now you want to act like the victim? Sorry, Jake. I'm done. He looked like he wanted to say something else, but I didn't give him the chance. I turned and walked away. For the first time in months, I felt like I was breathing again. After I told Jake I wanted my money back, things got even messier. He started calling me nonstop. Apologies, promises, sob stories about how he was sorry and that he finally really loved me. I was a fool, he said one night over the phone, voice raw. I've always loved you. I just didn't realize it until I almost lost you. I wanted to scream. He was trying to rewrite the story to avoid paying me back. I didn't fall for it. I told him straight, if you don't pay me back, I'm taking legal action. At first, he laughed. Are you serious? You'll sue me? For 10 grand. I was. We went back and forth for days. I hired a lawyer friend, to draft a formal demand letter. I sent it to him. His attitude changed fast. Suddenly, he was begging, "Please, Opie, don't do this. I'm broke. I'll pay you back slowly." I held my ground. No more lies. Pay it all now or face the consequences. In the end, he did. He paid me back every cent. And it broke him. Jake's business folded shortly after. He lost clients, his credit tanked, and he had to move back in with his parents. I won't lie. Part of me felt satisfaction. Not revenge. Just justice. After Jake paid me back and disappeared from my life, it felt like I could finally breathe again. I didn't jump into dating or anything like that. Instead, I focused on me. I spent more time with my sister, went back to therapy, and even started taking night classes for something I'd always wanted to do, but never had the courage to try. Slowly, I learned how to trust myself again. Looking back, I realized how much I put on hold for someone who didn't deserve it. Jake wasn't just unfaithful. He was selfish and reckless with my trust and my money. But I'm not bitter anymore. I'm grateful, actually. Grateful that I found out the truth before it got worse. So yeah, life sucks sometimes. People disappoint. But you don't have to stay broken. You can rise. And that's what I'm doing.